Hey everyone, I'm back. Sorry I was gone so long, but I was pretty busy last year. Had a lot of projects I had to get done. Yeah, I would be platinum by now if it wasn't for all this matchmaking with silver scrubs. That's right. You can call me Lord Zarathul. I own my own castle. But that's all behind us now. It's time to get back to what really matters in life. Computer hardware. Possibly girlfriend, but computer hardware. Overall, the industry has slowed down a bit on the new releases. However, there's been some major unveilings that have turned sections of the computing world on its head. We'll save the best for last, but the first thing I want to touch on is a new CPU cooler from Deepcool called the Captain 240L. So your average computer illiterate person sees a fan and heatsink on a computer and thinks that somehow is the processor. But what if a cooler can make the processor look more like a reactor than just a simple processor? Then you might just have the pump from the Captain 240 cooling your chip off. Seriously, this thing looks like a mini nuclear reactor just sitting inside your computer case. To the trained eye, someone would realize it's just eye candy. But to your average family, friends, they might think you're a terrorist. Besides that, the Captain has some other great features to go along with the looks. The fan blades are removable for easy cleaning, and upon close inspection of the accessory shot, I noticed a fan hub. A fan hub! While 120mm AIOs don't need that, they should pretty much be standard on 240 and above. I don't know why we don't see this more, but I feel like we should. Unfortunately, the performance reviews aren't in on this unit yet, but if the 3400 RPM pump has anything to say about it, then this unit should be up there on the performance with other similar units. Match all that up with a sub $110 price tag, and I feel like this unit would be hard to beat, especially when custom loops can easily run you up over $300. So while Deepcool is doing a decent job of reshaping the AIO market, this next bit of news should have a deeper impact. We're going to talk about Microsoft Windows 10. The good news is, I really like Windows 10. The bad news is, I really like Windows 10. Let me explain. Windows 10 is everything that Windows 8 should have been. Rather than forcing an entire Metro UI down our throats, there are some simple Metro tiles that also tie in with our all-time favorite Start menu. Functionality has been great. I've seen less bugs with the preview version than I did with my retail copy of Windows 8 when that came out. It's nice to see apps able to run in window mode too. Now while these features that are being refreshed are great, it's also nice to see Windows add some fresh features as well. So one cool feature is the virtual desktops. This is something completely original to Windows 10. Well, if you don't count Linux and Apple, third-party applications. But Windows hasn't done it before, so that's all that counts. Also, Windows is jumping on the bandwagon with their own voice assistants. Time will tell how good this is, but some preliminary comments indicate it's working pretty well. But let's not forget the greatest feature of them all. One feature to rule them all, and in the darkness of our bedroom while playing video games, bind them. DirectX 12. So far, all I can do is this, Microsoft. It's seriously about time Microsoft did something as impressive as this low-level API. By reducing CPU overhead, games that were heavily CPU-bound are seeing some impressive increases in performance. Not only does DirectX 12 make better use of the graphics by having less translation between the software and hardware, but games that used to be heavily bound in single-thread performance are now able to take better advantage of multiple cores and threads and are super-uber CPUs. PC gaming is looking like it's going to take an impressive leap, and many of us won't need new hardware to reap the benefits. All this good news is great, but if this one piece of news has some validity to it, then wanting Windows 10 is a bad thing. Microsoft could be planning to add subscription services. Yep, in order to enjoy the full features of Windows 10, you may have to subscribe to them, most likely on a yearly basis, but this will not bode well for us consumers. If I hadn't mentioned it yet, now's the time to start complaining. But let's not end on a bad note. Who doesn't want to hear about graphics cards? Cheerleaders, I'm sure that football players, yeah, well, President Obama, okay, I get the point. So for those of us who do want to hear about graphics cards, let's talk about Maxwell. The GTX 980 and 970 are shaking the market as we know it. These things do everything. They're powerful, yet power efficient, high-end, yet affordable. Worthy of stock clocks, but highly overclockable. They do your laundry, clean your room, cook your breakfast. I mean, there isn't anything these cards can't do but fail. Over-exaggerating, you say? Sims 4. Seriously though, these cards are great. They offer amazing performance in the graphics realm. Nvidia offered what is essentially a downsampling feature that negates the need for anti-aliasing. The power draw on these cards is ridiculously low, and the 980 managed to break world overclocking records with how well the GPU can be pushed. If you grab one of the WindForce or Twin Frozer variants, you will no doubt have some headroom to play with, and heaven forbid you get the chance to overclock these guys on a custom loop. The worst part is, Nvidia hasn't released their Big Daddy Maxwell yet. Also, I can only imagine what dual GPU Maxwell will be capable of. AMD may have taken one on the chin, but they aren't down and out. Rumors have been floating around about the R9 390X, and if what is being speculated is true, the GPU market is going to get very interesting. First off, AMD's done some power saving of their own, and while they aren't quite on the level of Maxwell, the difference is looking pretty negligible. On top of that, AMD looks like they have optimized some of their architecture as well, so we can expect some nice performance gains. But here's where it gets very interesting. It looks like the R9 390X is going to introduce stacked memory. This is a huge game changer in the graphics world. High bandwidth memory, or HBM for short, can dramatically increase performance while taking up less space and saving energy. To put this in perspective, the GTX 980 has a total memory bandwidth of 224.5 gigabytes per second. The R9 390X looks to have a massive 640 gigabytes per second bandwidth. That jump is huge, and while AMD looks to have the corner on HBM for now, Nvidia might be introducing HBM in their GPUs by 2016. So let's face it, that's a lot of exciting news to end 2014 with. We're seeing innovative designs hitting the cooling market, Microsoft making some impressive strides with Windows 10, and GPUs breaking barriers with amazing architecture. This hound is happy. Don't forget, as always, check out Pure Overclock for our latest news and reviews, and we'll catch you next time. Okay, Kevers, I'm trying to do my web show here. Okay. Cut.